Yeah, crazy. But she's beautiful, though, man. For real.
But man, you can't do no more content about interracial dating and this and that because you have about like 10, 20 videos bashing a thing, bashing this person, bashing that person. Hey man, you gotta change your tune now. Like if I saw Aaron Brown in the club with Noah Lyles, he can't make no more Noah Lyles videos.
Let me tell you the difference between me and what you just said, right? In reality. This is what reality is. Can you hear me?
I get you.
The reality is this. I love all women. I'm not one of those guys like the other Olympic guys who were just at the Olympics who only date white women and they only feel like this is what they need to have in their life to elevate them. I love all women. I love beautiful women, regardless of what color or race they are. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it
Okay.
comes down to. So do you understand that concept? The difference between a guy who only dates white girls and a guy like me who will put pipe in any beautiful woman that's out there? Do you understand the difference in those concepts?
It's equal opportunity, but man, it's still like, hey man, you going back on what you said though. You like a politician. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hold
Just
on one second.
keeping it.
Andrea, what's up, Andrea?
Hey, how you doing?
Have I ever talked to you before?
No.
Have you ever followed my channel before?
Actually, no, I just came across you. You were just on my explore page.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Andrea?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Okay.
Um I am in an interracial relationship, so I don't really see a problem with this. In fact, I actually think that black men and black women should just stop dating each other. We're not compatible with each other. I'm happier with a white man. All of my girlfriends who are with white men, they're happier. So I see nothing wrong with this. I actually think that we should just not really deal with each other. I think you should be with your white girl. I'm with my white man. I'm happy. I have a great relationship. And the women that I know who have been in relationship with black men, they also prefer to be with white men. So I understand. So you should be doing what makes you happy, and I think we should be separating from each other.
Where are you calling in from, Andrea?
I'm in New York.
Okay, you're in New York. Now, let me ask you this: what do you look like, Andrea? Are black men typically even attracted to you?
Yes.
Can I see what you look like?
No.
Why are you hiding your face?
Because I don't feel comfortable showing it on the internet.
You have an Instagram?
I do have an Instagram, but I don't feel comfortable showing it. I was just showing you some love and support.
But
Um,
the thing, hold on. Let me say this right here. Let me say this right here, because you just said that you think that black men and black women should completely separate from one another totally.
100%.
Why do you think that, like, other than the typical disagreements that happen in relationships regardless of the races, why do you think we should separate from each other totally?
I think that black men have made it very clear that for whatever reason, you have made it very clear that you don't like black women,
I
or
have.
that not
What?
you
Oh,
again.
okay.
Black men have made it very clear that you don't like black women, that you have a problem with us, and then also it's also other things like you can't name another race of men who put out music calling they women bitches and hoes and all that, right? So in every way, it has been made clear that you don't like us. So that's fine. For those of most black women want you, but for those of us who choose to be with somebody else, then that's what you do.
For the record, I have no problem.
whoever they want to be with. It doesn't matter race, shape, size,
Yeah,
age,
I'm not
color.
disagreeing
Like,
with you. I'm saying you should be with your white girl. I'm with my white man, and that's what I like. That's who I am prospering with. And if you find that you can prosper with a woman, that's what you should do.
Well, the thing is, I don't exclusively date white women. I love
you can
beautiful
put it
women.
over there so the charge.
Oh, you don't want to
Okay.
get back on?
I'll put it on this one.
Well, the thing is, I love beautiful women. I don't care about the race. Now, I am against black men who say I don't like black women, and they try to get with white women in order to quote unquote ostracize black
Yeah.
women and make it seem like that black women ain't
Oh,
nothing.
I don't
Like some of
even
the guys
I
in track and field.
I don't even
But
watch that. I don't even care about that. I just ignore it. At this point, I don't care. I think wholeheartedly that the black community would be better off if you just went off with your white girl. I went off with my white man, and we just went and lived our lives. And
And then we
instead
all
of us
make
work,
mixed babies, and then we're all just one and don't have to worry about them.
yeah.
But you do know I have a track and field podcast, right? And this is what I'm live on right now. But the problem with that is even when we start talking about personality, when we start talking about athleticism, when we start talking about social intelligence, I personally do not believe that there are no genetic advantages for black men. There's no genetic advantages for black. All the advantages come to the white side when you have the mixes come together. You
Hmm.
get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So genetically, the white side is what gets all the advantages.
Hmm.
Socially, I mean not socially, other than the social structure, because you got racism and discrimination, things like that.
Hmm.
So the only way I feel like people you have an advantage when you date with whites on your end, at least, is social structure. But outside of that, genetics and everything like that, I feel like is really no advantage. And even sports, I'm big into sports. Like I was just saying, when you have a black woman like yourself, and you have kids with white men, they don't make very good athletes. They don't make the genetics are usually passed through the father, and that doesn't
The,
go very well.
the problem with that argument is that if you look at the NBA right now, it's practically beige because most of the black men are with white women and they have biracial
Right.
children.
In college, after college, right. Those are the
Right.
product of the
So
people from the late 90s and the 2000s, right.
right. So at this point, I think that instead of us kind of trying to argue and fight for something that's not worth fighting for because the black community doesn't care about black people, we need to all just separate and go where we can have happy, loving relationships with people who value us. You clearly have a white woman who values you.
But I'm married to a mixed woman though.
Okay.
That's funny.
She must be new.
Yeah, I'm married to a mixed woman.
Okay. That doesn't change the point that I'm trying to make. Everybody should be going where they feel the most loved and celebrated. And I think that the black community is pretty much done anyway. We need,
Andrea, let me ask you something. What do you look like? You don't have to. You say you don't want to turn your camera on. What do you look like? Are you pretty?
yeah.
What size? How tall are you?
I
Don't
am
ask.
5'11".
You're
I am
5'11".
Yeah, she
Yeah, I'm
pretty
Yeah,
tall.
tall.
we love a tall
Do you
queen.
do you got to jump to put your jeans on?
No, I don't like being on the
That's not what
heavier
I
side.
asked
I'm
you. Yes,
definitely
listen, Andrea. Yes or no? Do
no,
you have to jump to put your jeans on?
no.
Okay, so your body isn't really that banging.
Okay, so I
Damn.
don't know.
That's subjective. Her body could be banging in a different way.
Come on, most 5'11" women don't have banging bodies like that. They just too long.
That's
No,
interesting.
that's not
So you
That's
know
not
true.
what's
true.
so this is the other thing that I find interesting.
Right.
I think that it's interesting that I'm telling you you should go where you're celebrated, and in the process of doing that, you proven exactly why it is why a lot of black women don't fuck with black men anymore. The
Well,
idea that
well,
you're
well.
trying to
I'm
displace
celebrated
my
everywhere. Women,
body.
I get Asian, I get mixed. My wife is beautiful. My side chicks are beautiful. My mistresses are beautiful. My baby mamas are beautiful. I just
Baby
don't.
mama.
I just don't put a race on it. I want to put pipe in all women, not just one
I
type of
know
woman.
you do. That's what black men are known for. But I'm
Right. We're
just
we're we're
saying,
we're pipe layers.
yes, yes. But I'd also like to, but as a woman, I'd like to be with a man who's a bricklayer, who actually owns things, controls things. And if I want to do that, it's not really you as a group of men who can control anything. You don't run anything.
Listen, hold up. As we're talking, I want to make sure you know who you're talking to. I know you said you never seen my channel before, but right now I'm sitting in my office with my businesses that I own,
Mm-hmm.
5 businesses
Mm-hmm.
in my own business. Okay.
Okay.
So you're talking to a guy who doesn't fit the prototype of what you're talking about. You
But
get what
you're
I'm
also
saying?
talking to a black woman who, just because I'm more on the slim side, which is something that is valued in other communities because they want women who are healthy, you don't have the right to critique me because of how I look
That's
and
true.
then turn around and say, well, I don't fit your stereotypical black man. I have my own business. You're just proving my point as to why I'm saying it's easier for black women to get with other races of men and deal with them because there's a baseline level of maturity and respect when you deal with them.
But I
There's
think you
always
forget. Have you been hearing black women say they want guys the 6'6" club, 6 figures, 6 inches, and what's the other 6 foot tall? Y'all have been saying there's been lists going around that black women have been saying that they don't want. They don't want
how
to take.
did
Don't
they
take me to Applebee's. Don't take me here on the first date. Have you been seeing that? Have you? You must have ignored all the stuff that black women have been saying lately
so
about.
my question for you is If you put up a live stream saying I'm in love with a white woman and I show up to give you some support for that, I don't have a problem with that. And now it seems like you're trying to create an argument where there is none. I have no problem with you. I have no problem with you dating someone of a different race. I have no problem with you preferring what you prefer. I have no problem with you going where you want to go. Where is this hostility coming from?
I'll tell you where the hostility comes from. When you made the statement that you feel like black men and black women should completely leave each other alone, and
Yeah, I have a
the
question
fact.
about that.
Go and answer. Let me answer her question first,
All
Adrian.
right, go ahead.
When you made that statement, and when you made the statement that basically that's when you just basically embrace that type of concept, that was like offensive, because I don't agree with that. I don't feel like, number one.
But then why would you put up a title that says I'm in love with a white woman? Something that the average black woman who's still hopelessly obsessed with black men is going to be triggered by.
I don't want her to be triggered by it. I want it to be something that made her step her game up, because there are things that being with white women.
So as a black woman who does not wish to compete for you, who is just trying to be nice to you, what's the problem?
My problem is that when you say that you want black men and black women to separate themselves from one another, I don't agree with that. I think black men should be able to go anywhere. I feel like black men, we're the most desired. We have the most amazing genetics. I feel like you even getting with a white man, actually genetically. I'm not talking about socially. I'm only talking about genetically. I feel like that is a step in another direction for you genetically. And every time I've been around a black woman who's been married to or had kids with white men, and I'm talking about my wife, I'm talking about my wife's mom, I'm talking about my sister. No, I'm sorry, my wife's mom. I'm talking about my wife's mom, my wife's sister's baby daddy, husband, or whatever. My sister, from the time I've been 10 or 11 years old, from seeing these type of relationships when it's a black woman with a white guy, I have never seen it being a loving relationship. But when I've seen from college even to now, when I see black men who get with white women, when I look at those women, look at the relationship, it's always seemed like it's real love.
I've never seen a happy relationship.
No, it's always seemed like the black woman's abusing the white guy. It always seemed like some weird, like she's using them, like she's like really conscious about her color, so she wanted to have light-skinned kids.
That is really interesting, because literally every statistic you could possibly talk about, or every statistic that you could possibly look about, tells you what happens to women who get with black men. Have you not seen that the highest rate of women who are becoming single mothers are women who are interracially paired with black men?
Listen, I think that this is a result of that. And I talk about that. I have a paralegal service, right? And I talk about it because I deal with men who had like going to court, getting child custody, visitation, and all that, right? And I have people get modifications to things like that. I did it with my earlier kids. I have a 22-year-old and a 15-year-old. I think black men have a lower tolerance for BS. So what happens is, somebody named Yard just came in. So what happens is black men, we have a lower tolerance. So when we get into situations that we find volatile, they can send us to the penitentiary, they can send us to the graveyard, where there's toxicity. Black men have what I call situational awareness, which is why we decide to leave. It's not because we don't want to be fathers. It's because we don't want to damage and end our lives and end up in the penitentiary.
I completely agree with you. And that
hold on, Andrea, before you say anything, let me say this one more thing. White men are also the poster boys, because you have a white guy now, right? White guys, on that same token, are the poster boys for domestic violence. Christopher Watts, Christopher Coleman, Scott Peterson. These are the main guys you see on CNN. I don't know where my wife went. I don't know where the kids are. And they're in some drainage oil tank, dead. And he's on CNN claiming he don't know where they are.
Hold on 1 second. Are you really trying to tell me right now that the poster boy for domestic violence, child abandonment, recklessness, and just basically being a terror is a white man and not a black one?
I'm saying that when you look at the media portrays what they want to portray. But when we start to look at domestic violence and men who commit familicide, okay? Because we talking about from a sociological standpoint. These are the people. These are the poster boys for domestic violence. This is what they do.
Chris Watts, WATTS.
Wow. What's going on right now around your house?
Right now, it's You got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent, see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car, or they went somewhere. And right now it's just like they've been on point. They're going through the house trying to get a scent, and hopefully they can pick something up to where it's going to lead to something.
What happened? Your wife came home. Tell me what's.
She came home from the airport 2 a.m. and I left around 5:15. She was still here, and like about 12:10 in that afternoon, her friend Nicole showed up at the door. Like I had texted Shanann a few times that day, called her, say but she never got back to me. But she wasn't getting back to any of her people as well, and that's what really concerned a lot of people. Is like if she's not getting back to her, like if she doesn't get back to me, that's fine. Like she gets busy during the day, but she didn't get back to her people, which was very concerning. And Nicole called me when she was at the door, and that's when I came home. And then walked in the house, and nothing has vanished. Nothing was here. I mean, she wasn't here. The kids weren't here. Nobody was here.
What's your wife's name?
Shanann, SHANANN.
What's your kids' name?
Bella and Celeste.
How do you spell Celeste?
CELESTE.
How old are your daughters?
4, and Bella's 4, Celeste is 3.
And so, how many times did you try calling her?
I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times, just to say, what's going on. Like because after
This is what they do. If you go type in a familicide, a man who woke up in the morning and decided to end his wife, end his kids, you think he's gonna be a black or a white guy? Black guys, we don't want to hurt our kids. No, it's not. Stop. You know who Christopher Watts is? You remember Christopher Watts in Colorado?
And you know why the reason?
Mr. Watts, why did you kill your wife and 2 children?
Mr. Watts, did you confess?
No.
And you know why the reason why those stories become
type in Netflix.
You know why those movies and those situations become so sensationalized is because it's so out of the norm. It's more normal to watch you kick a woman's ass.
Matter of fact, she's actually right on that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was just looking it up. Women of sexual minorities experience higher rates of domestic violence. It's up to 30 to 50% higher than their white counterparts.
Living with a black man is like living in an actual Mortal Kombat game for a lot of women. So I don't. When I say that women should separate and black men should go do what they want, do it.
But I have a question for you, Andrew. I think you made a good point. As far as saying, you're a slim woman and you wanted to go where you're celebrated. I do feel like a lot of black men, they do celebrate somewhat obese women, but I do disagree with one thing you said. You said you like a
love
man
fucking fat girls. I don't understand that.
Okay, I said that's a good point. I said that's a good point. But one thing I disagree with you. You sound like an educated woman. Did you go to college by any chance?
I did.
Okay, and you said you want a man that owns things and controls things. Okay, I respect that, but don't you think, as a black woman, if you wanted to proliferate black excellence, you should have found a high IQ.
Proliferate black excellence when y'all don't value it.
I mean, maybe at the there's a man that's at your level. Maybe the men that you're looking at, Pookie and Ray Rays.
No, seriously, real shit. Why would I spend my time trying to create another black child when any neighborhood that has too many of y'all in it is unsafe? Name one neighborhood, name one country where
no, that's
y'all
not
are
true.
running.
Look at Bloomfield, Connecticut. Look at that's a black suburb in Connecticut.
In the DC area too. DC area has a lot of
do you own all the businesses there? If I lose my job tomorrow, can a black man hire me?
There's a lot of black, but okay, that's another reason I had a problem with that point. Black Wall Street was burnt down.
Okay, I can't with the Black Wall Street foolishness, because I can turn on my radio right now and hear y'all putting out music, calling us bitches and hoes. In fact, you're not even talking to us anymore.
But who funds that though?
White girls.
Who owns the record labels? Who funds that? You got to ask that question.
So if you're completely powerless to this white man, then why am I talking to you when I can go get the white man?
I don't think deep about things.
Hey,
Like
I'm
I don't
happy that you're
understand what the
happy with.
problem is. I came up here and said,
I
I
have no
want you to
problem.
be with your white girl. I want you to be with your white girl. Look, she's beautiful. Be with your white girl. Be
What's the most
happy.
beautiful thing about her?
I
Okay,
would say
stop.
I would say that she has a gorgeous smile.
It is
Thank
beautiful.
you.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm
It-
not a hater of white women. What I think the problem is that I think the average black woman doesn't really is so fixated on the idea that somewhere out in the world is a black man who's going to love her and provide for her and take care of her and give her all this, but there's too much foolishness that we have to deal with to get that. I personally have never dated a black man.
oh,
So
that's what it is. Okay, hold on. Let me ask you
Okay,
something.
that makes sense.
Did you have your father in the household?
yes,
No.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Don't
From
play
your
her
real
like
father?
that.
Your real
My
father?
real father. I grew up in the suburbs. I had my father in the
Oh,
household. My father took care of my family. My mother, she worked part-time. My other wife, she was at home.
man, wait. Do you keep your home?
We were in the church every Sunday. So this whole broken family foolishness that you're about to try to
Do you
spin,
have
it
your own
doesn't
hair?
work. All I have to do is look
Hey,
at
hold
my
up.
younger
Teflon
hand.
Don asked, Andrea, Teflon Don asked, do you have your own hair or do you try to look European?
It don't
There's the next thing. I have all
matter.
so you
I
see
hate
how
yo.
the disrespect continues. So yes, I do have my own hair.
Nah, I'm gonna have to get out of here
Like
because
that's just
I
wild.
hate being
See, I have no
connected.
Can
problem
you
that you
hear
found
me?
happiness with
Here's the
your
thing.
interracial
Here's
dating.
here's the thing
Yeah.
you
Hello?
guys need to understand.
Hold
I
on for a
have
second,
I
Girl,
have
Andrea.
it's me
no
and the girls.
problem.
Whatever girls in here, we about to
I know they're gonna go
start a
crazy.
revolt.
Oh,
We about to come for them. Don't you
hold on for a second,
dare.
Andrea.
I
March, how
know
you doing?
you're her sugar daddy. Don't fucking lie to us.
I'm not her sugar daddy.
Yes,
Oh
you
man.
are.
How am I her sugar daddy, Marge?
Wife, I know.
You have a wife.
So what? I can't have a wife. I got wives. I have it
How
all.
many wives do you have? Be honest.
Yeah,
I have
honestly,
one wife. I have one wife. I'll show you.
So what is she? Is she your side chick or what?
No, it's my boo thing. Don't worry about what she is.
Yeah, I mean she getting paid if she wants to be your boo thing willingly.
No,
Hell yeah.
listen. I pay in pipe. Listen, I pay in pipe. I don't pay
She
in
looks
money.
like my mother's age.
No, she's
Who?
how she like your mama age?
You!
Me,
How old are you?
Wow, I look like your mother.
This my wife right here, man. I got a wife and I have boo things. Why y'all concerned about my boo thing?
Because the boo things are only a boo thing when they getting paid, my G.
No, I pay in pipe, man. I ain't gotta pay none of these women. What's wrong with you? That's my
How much
All
wife.
you
right,
paying
guys. You
her?
guys have a good night. I was just coming up here and just
All
saying
right,
I mean, she laughing for a reason because she
Andrea.
know it's true.
It's nice to meet you, Andrea.
It's nice to meet you, Andrea, as well.